Let's get started.
Now let's get it all in perspective. We did it like that, and now we do it like this.
Do not attempt to adjust your dial. I'm transmitting live. Yo,
Let's get down to business.
Now let's get it all in perspective. We did it like that, and now we do it like this.
All right.
for the underground world, every street and borough.
You may learn something.
Experience.
You are now listening to the Joe Rogan Experience with Chico, Simon, Kamar, and your host, Matt Floyd.
Welcome to the Joe Rogan Experience. My name is Matt Floyd, joined as always by Kamar
Welcome to the party.
and Simon.
What is going on?
What we do here is very simple. The three of us have listened to every episode of the Joe Rogan Experience this week. We're going to rate each episode as well as the week on a scale of 1 to 5 Jamie Vernons. We're then going to talk about each guest, the talking points, give our opinions, this, that, and the next. But first, Kamar's, I don't think there were any. Were there new Patreons?
There was new Patreon. It's my favorite time of the week. We acknowledge the Patreons who support us like no one else. Join the Patreon. If we get to 1,000, I'm moving to Austin. So we'll put that as a goal. But yeah, this week, no exception.
Hold
I
on,
believe
I'm
it's-
just curious. You're going to move to Austin? So
Well,
once we hit 1,000,
I
you're going to
wouldn't
leave the
move.
podcast?
I'd be able to go there for a week. No, I could not move. Yeah, Sean McDonald, which I think is a return. Sean McDonald, what up, Patreon?
What up,
Shout
Sean?
out to you, Sean.
You got our hot Graham Hancock, This Did Not Age Well, hot off the presses, plus another 50, This Did Not Age Well,
By the way,
Wells.
plural.
we had not done Graham Hancock. We had done Graham Hancock and Randall Carlson, so you can take that one off your list for the next one. What we
I wasn't
had,
gonna pick that one.
what we had done was we've done Tom DeLonge twice.
No way.
We said that, didn't we?
Wow,
Didn't
we're
we
dumb
have
that
a
we're
big,
able to
well, no,
read
that's
reviews.
great.
You were saying that we had done it like on the show, but we did it as a
Oh,
throwback.
Either.
So,
No, we couldn't have done it on the show. It wasn't.
we could
it
not
was
have.
Before
We
our
did it,
time. So there are two Tom DeLonge.
That's
there are
great.
two throwbacks for Tom DeLonge.
And you guys join the Patreon and go back and see which one of those aged wellest.
Well, that's probably a cool experiment because so much had been proven true since we would have done that, I imagine.
Join the Patreon now. I'm not lying. And just support me.
All the Patreon goes to Kamar. Kamar, how was your week?
Oh yeah, it's Blues Fest, and it's going to be a disaster. I think unless they do, because they take the Monday off.
Yeah.
But tonight is going to be insane.
So you think tomorrow they're going to regroup?
I hope. Well, I hope they do something. What about this? Do you guys think there should be volunteers selling beer and stuff? I think it should be a for-profit endeavor, like one of the biggest musical festivals in the world, because it goes so long.
People
It's actually
like
the-
it, I think, because they get free passes.
It's the third largest outdoor music festival in North America, behind Coachella and Bonnaroo.
I've volunteered, so I know how the whole thing works. But still,
It's bigger than that Montreal one. Osheaga.
Osheaga's only 3
no
days.
way.
Osheaga's cooler.
No, but it's bigger.
Blues Fest is 2 weeks long.
That's why I see.
Exactly. And so I just think some of the jobs suck. And like the lineups, like I said, there was people waiting for a guy with a backpack for an hour.
I mean, Kamar
They
makes
might have thought they were going to a bar, but
you make a great point. Like, how does the third largest music festival in North America that's sponsored by one of the biggest banks in Canada have to get volunteers? You can pay everyone.
I think so.
get the fuck
in
outta here.
2022, and give them free passes for working.
I just love that the argument is like, well, we got to turn a profit.
Well, I was talking to some young chick and she said it's a charity. And I was like, is Alanis playing for free? Like, if this is a charity, that's where you should save your money, is on the artists.
Yeah, but we know the artists aren't
That's
playing
not
for free.
how that works usually, though. If you're running like a charity, let's say, and you're having an event, you hire a band to play. They don't do that for charity.
Oh, I understand, but you'd be surprised how many people think it's ethical to ask me to do a comedy show for free for charity. Like, it's a discounted thing. I won't do it.
Did you just compare yourself to Alanis Morissette?
No, artists performing to raise money still get paid. Just like charity, 80% of the money goes to administration or whatever.
I see, but that's probably because it's just a tiny little charity that's not making a ton of money.
His point is
right?
this: it's very simple. Let's say fucking UNICEF decides to throw a show. I did something, and now my mic sounds fucking terrible.
You sound
Anyway,
great.
like if UNICEF, let's say they're taking in 10 million, but they have to pay Alanis 2 million, but they're asking everyone else to work for free. It's kind of a weird.
It seems
'Cause like he's saying, if it's for charity.
raising money to raise money, not to actually like
Yeah.
help anything.
I had no idea Blues Fest was to raise money.
Well, this girl
I
told
didn't
me,
either.
and I said that does not make sense to me at all.
That's kind of like Value Village is in it to raise
Oui,
money.
c'est
They're
ça.
just in it to make money.
In any event, I've enjoyed it. Pre-drink before if you're gonna go because you will not get drinks once you're there.
Side note, I saw Kamar on his way to see Sarah McLaughlin.
And it's way easier to pick up girls at Sarah McLaughlin than Alanis Morissette. Because at Sarah McLaughlin, they're sad and lonely, and at Alanis Morissette, they're
Angry and lonely. Yeah.
You
great.
know, hey, that's coming out next week. But
Check me out.
I saw one band. They were super cool called Ocean Alley, and you know the river stage is on the other side of the museum. And there's a big hill that goes down. When they started performing, you could stand anywhere. Like no one had gotten there yet, and halfway through the set, the whole thing just filled up, and they freaked. You could tell they were like, "Whoa, there's a lot of people here."
That's where the
And they were-
comedy stage was, right? That year?
One year,
Yeah.
way, many moons ago.
With Girl Talk.
But they fucked up their song. They were so overwhelmed by the way the thing filled up. I like those moments.
I think that's my beef with Blues Fest this year.
Non-professionals.
Not enough local. There should be a ton of local talent playing.
No, this is the slim down, but still as expensive. It's you guys know what shrinkflation is, right?
Yes.
You pay more and get less.
Yeah.
Even at Blues Fest, it's happening. It's
Yeah.
Anyways, it's a highlight of my summer, so I'm enjoying
If
it.
the Chaffee brothers aren't there, it's just not Blues Fest.
I ran into one of them last night.
Matt or the other one?
Exactly. The other one, Curtis.
Okay.
And I was like, "Oh, you're playing?" And he's like, "No, I just had to tell me his big tour that he was on and stuff."
Simon, how was your week?
My week was fine.
Happy anniversary. Simon's
Happy
been married.
anniversary,
Simon's
lover
been
boy.
married for 20
Yeah,
years.
that's crazy.
To say it
right?
loud,
I
eh?
am so fucking old. Mm-hmm. I just, yeah. So,
I mean, when
so
I said to
old.
Mary though, I was like, they've been married 20 years, and she was like, "That's nuts." And I was like, "Yeah," but I was like, "We also been together 11, so I get we're not married, but
Yeah, but we were also together 5 years before.
Yeah,
we
that's-
got
Before you pop the
married,
question?
so, yeah. 4 years, 5 years, something like that.
That sounds about right. I mean,
Yeah.
the Royals, they take like 7 to 8
years."
before they announce the wedding.
So that's what I'm
the
doing. I'm
Royals.
royalty, so we're
Oh,
taking
yeah.
our sweet time.
That's a
I
classy
like
way.
that you compared me to the Royals. That was
And can you imagine people get married knowing each other like a month?
Oh, I watch those shows on TV.
It happens.
They're
It
incredible.
happens, yeah.
I mean, I'll say this again. I'm not married. Mary and I moved in together pretty much 2 months after being together.
Just fuck fast. We can't be apart from each other.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I guess. How was your week, Simon? That's it.
Yeah, I mean, whatever. We went up to the cottage. I didn't watch any movies or anything this week. I kind of got into Logan Paul's podcast a little bit. Don't like Mike Malik. Don't like the other guy, but he's a star.
Logan is.
Yeah, yeah. But you know what I don't like,
Are you stating the obvious? Or
yeah, just stating the
Okay.
obvious. Yeah,
What, like 4 years after
Yeah.
I
yeah,
said it?
yeah.
Curious,
4
like-
years. I'm always late to the
I'll
game.
warm up to it.
Oh,
this kid's a star.
I'll tell you this much though.
Guy's
I'm
got
going to
it.
go on Olivia.
Those guys would have a good podcast if they just would stop talking. Whoa, do you hear that?
It's called a noise gate.
Noise gate,
Or the
nice.
compression. Yeah, I'm trying to work.
Compression,
I'm trying to get it.
What was I saying?
Yeah, the podcast would be better if.
Would be better if they stopped talking about doing things for content.
But that's what their business is.
I know, but it just takes you out. Like it's
Because to you, it's still foreign and it's like this thing, but it is what it is. Good, interesting thing on Adam 22 interviews a girl who was at Impulsive's 100th episode where Machine Kelly was there.
Machine Gun Kelly.
Machine Gun Kelly. And I think Tim Dillon, or there was a
Said that like an
might have
Aussie.
been Theo Vaughn.
Machine Gelly.
Machine Gelly.
And she tells a story about in the middle of the podcast, Machine Gun Kelly takes her outside, fucks her in the ass.
What?
And she was like, it was a bit of a bummer because we didn't have any lube, but she was still like, it's one of the greatest moments of my life. And she is so hot.
What about Megan Kelly?
Well, the 100
Or not
the-
Megan
this
Kelly,
is ages
Megan
ago.
Fox.
This is when he was still.
Oh, this
still
is a long time
half
ago.
rap, half rock.
Oh, I see.
Yeah,
Well, what
listen,
do you
if
mean?
you're,
How
if
long
you're
has
explaining
Impulsive been
if you're
around for?
explaining to us that being famous, rich, and young is really cool, I'm aware.
Yeah,
You're
4
not
years.
like Simon over here. I think this guy's famous.
Well, Mike Malik, who whatever, he said something. He said something about somebody telling them they were like the closest thing to Entourage, like a real life version of Entourage,
Yeah.
which is probably true, but totally becomes lame when you say it out loud. You know what I mean?
Just like content.
anyway,
But-
yeah, exactly.
But what I was thinking is, one of the things I like watching about it is that they're famous and rich and young, but they're not under a corporate. Like we've seen people, but they behave probably in a way. These people are just out there.
They are part of some podcast network thing though, because they like them and Howie Mandel share the same.
studio space.
No, not. But if they're in each other's city and they need to use a studio, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but that's not always like. Sometimes you just
Ask who's around, but I'm pretty sure they do share.
like they just interviewed the Sidemen in
I saw
the
it, yeah.
UK.
Yeah.
That studio's the True Geordie, the Kickoff studio.
But
right.
So they're
does
not.
only True Geordie do shows there, or are there other shows?
No,
that
no,
are
it's
like
only
the same
that
thing?
is it's the Kickoff studio. The True Geordie does. They have the Kickoff where they watch all the EPL games live, like 6 of them.
Okay.
But that's what that studio is for.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely a massive network of YouTubers that are.
But I also think that's just one of those like if we were huge, wouldn't you offer up like if we had a real studio, wouldn't you offer it up to any famous person that came? Just to use
Impulsive
it?
would come here, do a show, we'd go there.
I totally hear everything you're saying. You're probably 100% right. I do think they're part of a network.
Maybe.
And they're the same agents as Howie Mandel or whatever.
It just seems odd to me because they're so big that they wouldn't. I don't know. Like a network seems like something you join. Like we would join a network to try to have someone push us, whereas they're so big. But maybe I'm wrong. I'm
to
often
reiterate,
wrong.
they're just existing without corporate influence. It feels like. I mean,
Maybe,
obviously,
yeah.
they sway to make money for the
they
corporations.
still
that they're
watch
in.
things that they say on their show.
But does it
So
feel like-
that's why I feel like they're
It's hard to imagine there's a like the Backstreet Boys, like a Maurice Starr or whatever, the manager behind who's manipulating.
I see what you're saying. Yes, yeah, I see what you're saying.
They seem like
like
the
who was
bosses.
the guy from NSYNC there, the big fat dude?
Well, he did them all, I think.
Oh, did he?
Like a Colonel Parker for Elvis. Anyways,
Colonel Parker.
how's your week, Matt?
My week was fine. Back to that for a second, though. I feel like no matter what you say, if you're YouTube big, you are somehow beholden.
Yeah, to the YouTube or Google, I guess, who owns YouTube.
But that's what I'm saying is like, every time I post a video, I'm like, it's so egregious, this list of shit they want to know. Like, I'm like, how the fucking Johnson & Johnson have the balls to be like, whoa, if you said fuck or spoke about something that maybe people find offensive, we don't think we can advertise on your show. Like, you guys are one of the worst companies in the world. Like, you guys, you're out there literally poisoning rivers, and you're worried about us saying fuck.
It's their amusement park. They
Yeah.
can make the rules.
Anyway, my week was fine.
The other guy they had on, is Dan Bilzerian.
Yeah, that fucking idiot.
But it was interesting. He was on Rogan so early. I mean, early, a long time ago, and
Yeah.
it's interested to see all the things he's done since then. There are some return guests I'd like to see on Rogan, I guess is my point.
But not the ones that constantly are returning.
Right.
Well, we did a throwback of Dan Bilzerian. If you want to hear me go light him up preemptively.
But I've read a bunch of stuff that he's a fraud and whatever.
He is a fraud.
Well, he's some sort of thing because someone did it. Maybe Adam 22 went to his house. He's still rich as fuck.
And he was running an experiment where he was trying to become like internet famous. So, I mean, he is a fraud. I think he knows, but what are they accusing him of being a fraud of?
Hold on, there's a lot of fraudulent shit. No. The whole deal is this. Like, to say he's rich now, he hangs out with Bill Perkins, who is like a oil billionaire. So when you have, as we've learned, when you have billionaire friends, it's actually a lot easier to front like you yourself are very rich. Like if I have 10 billionaire friends and they're letting me travel and stay at their places, my Instagram's gonna look fucking fuego.
If you listen to that podcast,
Yeah.
that guy Bill and another guy, like Bilzerian says, these guys are like billionaires who were degenerate poker players, and I took them for millions of dollars. But at the same time, they liked hanging out with beautiful women and stuff. So as I was like taking money from them every week, I would then invite them to all my parties. You know what I mean? But
That's
he
the other
said
part of
that-
the fraud, though. A lot of people are like, he's actually a garbage poker player who is a losing poker player.
Well, he doesn't claim to. He says I'm a good poker player, but not compared to like pros. He said to be able to sit against these guys and win. I mean, I don't know, man. You should listen to it.
Did you
and make your own mind up? But
You thought highly of him before
I didn't.
or after?
I didn't
Did it
think
change
highly of
anything?
him before, and I didn't think highly of him after. But I feel like I learned more about him after.
I thought even he was saying, you know, fucking 10 chicks a day, he gets tired after a while. But
Woe is me.
but you think,
He's a sex addict.
yeah, and I think he's even weaning himself off that because he's, I mean, you know, he's probably up there with firemen. I was painting, helping a guy paint a place.
What?
I was
I
helping
was just saying that firemen have
Get a
large
lot.
body counts.
huge kill ratio to career. But I was painting.
We're talking about women, right?
Yes, body count.
Sure,
yeah.
gay guys like firefighters too. Everyone likes firefighters because they're the fucking hero. But I was working with a firefighter, helping paint this guy's house. He was a friend of his, and I was like, "Were you single when you joined the service?" And he goes, "No." And I was like, "I'm so sorry." And he told me that he doesn't hook girls up with firefighters because he said they're the worst. Like all they are just fighting fires and fucking, because it's just the easiest position to like pick up girls. Who doesn't want? I think I'd make it with a firefighter.
Yeah, you know what? All you people stealing valor of like rangers and stuff, you're making the wrong move. You gotta get yourself a firefighter outfit. That's the real way to. That's the real stolen valor right there. Come on, you want to go over the guests real quick
I'd love to. Thanks for asking, Matt.
so that we can do what we actually do on this show?
I thought it was a great week. I'm gonna rate it.
Can you go over the guests first?
Yeah.
Yeah,
We
okay.
had 1839 July 1st special. Is it that Independence
of
Day?
July.
4th of July special. Is that Independence Day?
Yes,
And it was Duncan Trussell.
everyone's favorite.
Followed by 1840 entrepreneur investor Mark Andreessen.
Weirdest,
Andreessen?
weirdest episode ever.
And then we finished off with It's Been a While, 1841, Brian Redband.
I'll give the week a 4.
I'll give it a 4 as well.
I give the week a 4 as well.
We have an agreement. You don't hear those often.
What a way to start the week.
Never, I don't think this has ever happened.
Well, it's happened, but
Where we all come in just throwing our fucking opinions around.
First of all, you gave the week a 4. That's probably the highest week rating you've ever given.
ever.
it was a good week.
It sounded
It was a
awkward coming out of your
very
mouth.
Interesting week.
It did sound awkward. coming
And
out of your mouth.
usually Brian would fucking drop that rating down like a lead weight,
This is
and I thought
Brian's
he
best-
was good.
Brian
I
has
know.
grown up and is a
He
normal human
he was
being.
great. That
Good
episode
for Brian.
was terrific.
It's because he's officially out from underneath the shadow and it's on the best show going in the world. Right
You
now.
know what though? On Kill Tony, which I've watched a lot of lately, Tony is so mean to Brian. It's crazy.
Brian
He's
is still annoying,
way
Brian.
meaner to Brian than Joe Rogan ever was.
Yeah, but that's Tony's shtick.
Joe had tact in it. Brian, Tony seems to have like genuine disdain
If
for
Brian started playing the sound drops he does randomly that sometimes don't work on Joe Rogan would be just as mean. I still find it annoying. Did you see the one with Pauly Shore?
I've seen it, yeah.
That was good.
I mean, I know what he means. Like, if I filled every one of these fucking buttons up with some random fucking sound thing and just did it throughout the podcast, you'd be like, dude.
And 1 out of 6, like, it was perfect and it's hilarious. Like, it's the return. Because sometimes Brian does the right ones.
I don't care. I'm just stating.
You think
a
Tony's
fact.
mean to him? I think it's an
He's
act.
mean.
I think they love
Oh,
each other.
really? No way.
You know what I've always thought about that too, before we get to the episode, is Jeremiah Watkins.
What about him?
Feels like he fell by the wayside.
Well, he went on to bigger and better things.
Oh, did he?
I think so.
Oh,
Okay, well, let's start this off.
let's go. See if you guys are listening.